Dr. Leonardem Coldwellem is an MD, founder of the Modern Therapy Center, founder of the Foundation for Crime and Drug-Free Schools and Health for Children, author of over 8 best-selling books in Europe. Over 2 million people have attended his lectures on stress and cancer treatment. After 9/11, U.S. Naval Weapons Station brought you in to talk about stress. And in Europe, as a doctor, you've treated over 35,000 patients for cancer primarily.
Right.
And you had one of the highest cancer cure rates in Europe.
That is right.
Fascinating resume.
Thank you very much.
Now you're living in America. We talked in Las Vegas. You said the cause of virtually all illness and disease is stress.
That is right. Basically, every illness is based on lack of energy. And stress is the main cause of lack of energy. It's the main energy drainer. Stress is not what we usually think what stress is. Stress is more the hidden things that bother us, like worries, doubts, fears, personal insecurities, our lack of self-esteem. Stress comes from the daily fears we live in. Stress is basically based on the fact that we feel threatened, life threatened in any part of our lives, in a relationship, financially, in our career, in our professional life. It doesn't really matter where we perceive threat. As the second we perceive anything as a threat to a major part of ourselves, our lives, we instantly produce stress hormones, and these stress hormones lead to fight and flight mechanisms. In the modern world, if somebody is not the right person to talk to and you just don't like him and this person yells at you or humiliates you in any way, you cannot usually not just get up and run. So you cannot go and just fight this person physically. So the fight and flight hormones are still in your system, poisoning your system all the time. I like to explain at the beginning what's very, very important. People think stress is bad. Stress is usually not bad. It's the ongoing stress that's a problem. If I move my hand over the edge of this table, back and forth, for a minute, it's not a problem. I do it for an hour, my hand hurts. I do it for 5 hours, my hand is permanently damaged. But if I move my hand back and forth and take a break to give it a rest, move it back and forth and give it a rest, I can do it for the rest of my life without damaging my hand. The same is true with stress. If I have stress, that's not a problem. If I give myself a rest, if I recover frequently. So stress itself is not a bad thing. Ongoing stress is a bad thing.
Now, is there a difference between stress, anxiety, panic attacks, or are they pretty much all the same thing?
Basically, stress causes anxiety attacks, causes depression, causes dehydration, causes nutritional deficiencies. So we have a lot of pains that are specifically caused only by stress. The stress immediately gets us in a fight or flight mechanism. So we tighten up our muscles. That means the blood flow goes down. It needs, we have more tight muscles. We tighten up our muscles in the neck and the shoulders. That's why so many people develop tension headaches or backaches just from stress.
So if a person reduces the stress, you're saying that a lot of physical ailments can also go away?
Yeah, because they are just the symptoms. The depression, anxiety, pain is just a symptom of stress. It's not an illness in itself. It is just a symptom of doing the wrong things on an ongoing basis.
Now, when you were treating the people in Europe, 35,000 patients?
Right.
All cancer patients?
All cancer patients. I mean, some muscular dystrophy, but all patients that have been given up by the medical profession, by the regular medical profession already.
Okay, so these people that already tried the medical treatments.
Right.
And it failed.
And it failed.
And then they came to you.
Right.
So it would appear that you'd have a lower success rate because the standard medical procedures didn't have any effectiveness.
Yeah, maybe I go a little bit back. My mom developed liver cancer in a terminal stage when I was a little kid, when I was about 7. I only know my mother crying from pain with an emergency doctor, and when I was 12, they said she has a maximum of 2 years to live. There's no chance she can ever survive. There's no way she could get better. But we didn't take it. So we tried every alternative route because we tried the medical road. From A to Z, we tried really everything. And then the medical doctors, the medical profession, the German part or the German counterpart of the NIH said to my mom, a maximum of 2 years to live, that's just it. And we tried everything. We learned, we read, we tried, we experimented, we tried different alternative approach. And basically my mom nearly 35 years later, is completely healthy. She is alive. She is 67 years old now, and she looks younger than...
So she was cured of cancer?
She was cured of liver cancer in a terminal state.
Without chemotherapy?
Without chemotherapy, without radiation, without surgery.
Without medical drugs?
Without medical, any kind of toxifying drug. You have to understand that basically chemotherapy is a leftover of the warfare of the First and Second World War. So it's a toxic material. It's basically, it was used to kill people. They just came up with the idea, they thought, oh, if we can kill people with it, why don't we just give it to people that have cancer and hope it just kills the cancer and it doesn't kill the entire person. But usually it doesn't work that way.
So what method did you come up with to help your mother with her liver cancer and these 35,000 other cancer patients? What method did you use to make them healthy again?
Over the years, I've been basically to the maze of alternative medicine. Most of it does not work. You have to understand that people always treat symptoms. Even the alternative medical profession usually just treats symptoms and instead the root cause. The root cause is in you. Your body is the only thing that can make you unhealthy, can make you sick. And your body is the only thing that can cure you. Your immune system can cure you. Your regeneration, your self-healing system can cure you. And you have to enhance your self-healing system instead of fighting an illness. Stop fighting illness. Stop fighting pain. Go to the root cause of the problem and start to eliminate the root cause of the problem, which is somewhere in your life. It might be horrible things you do through your diet. It might be a dietary problem. It might be also that you're completely dehydrated, that you don't have a gallon of water a day. You need, first of all, you need the simple basic elements. You need half a teaspoon of salt a day. You need a gallon of water a day. And basically, regular, healthy living nutrition, at least, 70% good nutrition to 30% whatever you want to eat. And then we need to address the root cause. And the root cause, in my mom's case, was basically my physical father. So it was a horrible marriage. And what that basically led to my mom getting gallbladder stones. Then through the gallbladder stones, she had surgery. The surgery went wrong. She developed liver cancer after that. But basically, her immune system went down because my father was physically beating her, abusing her. So there was no hope. There was no future. So my mom and I, we worked on strengthening her. And we worked on different techniques. I started even out with hypnotherapy. I started out to try acupressure, acupuncture. We tried basically everything. But when we figured out how easy it is, if you stimulate the body, if you stimulate the mind, to get energy again, to get hope again, to develop self-esteem, to develop a completely new concept for the future, all of a sudden your immune system has a reason to function again. Before it don't have a reason, it does not want to live.
So the technique that you went for after trying all these different things, you didn't see those type of results that you wanted?
No, nothing was out there. Everything is whether manipulation like hypnotism or NLP. These things basically cause illness or can cause illness. Hypnotherapy, for example, can cause multiple personality disorder, can cause schizophrenia, leads people living in denial because it suppresses just the symptoms. It makes people live in an artificial reality, in an artificial world.
So you came up with what technique specifically to help to reduce the stress, or reduce the stress in the person so they can be healthier?
First of all, you have to make sure that the person is not in a numbness state, that the person is not unconscious when you get stress reduction. Because the second you cut off your conscious thinking, there's no way you can get to the root cause of your problems. The root cause of your problems is somewhere in your life. Is in your marriage, is in your relationships, is in your business world, is in your career, or you're just living just the wrong life that you're unhappy with. And you can only find this root cause of these problems if you're completely focused and awake. So I personally developed a brand new system that helps you to relax your body completely. And while your body is relaxing, your brain capacity goes up higher and higher. It leads most of the time to a hemisphere synchronization, so that both brain hemispheres work at the same time. So you have a clarity you never experienced before. Your body is completely relaxed, and now all the energy the body does not need any longer to function, it goes to your brain. So you're more alert than ever before. Your thinking process is so clear. And now I developed a system to use the symbols of your subconscious mind, open symbols without any kind of manipulation. And I lead you through a process that you find the solutions. And the second you find out what is it in your life, what is it in my life that makes me sick, that drags me down, that takes the energy away from me, this second you feel in control. Anxiety attacks, depression are the results of feeling out of control, that you don't control your life. Gives you the possibility in a completely relaxed state where you're in beta waves, where your brain is fully alert between 14 and 30 hertz. You're in total control. Now, to a certain amount of time, you learn to go very short to the alpha state between 7 and 13 hertz, where you make a blueprint for your future, for your life. You give yourself hope, you give yourself motivation. All this gives you energy. That's where energy is coming from, to have great goals, and you know you're going to achieve them.
Now, this particular system that you have, a person at home basically just listens for 20 minutes.
Just for 20 minutes.
They listen to this, and it has specifically designed music on the CD?
Yeah, the music is very specifically created, and that's very important. The person cannot be longer relaxed than 7 minutes. If you relax longer than 7 minutes, like all these other techniques do, you produce sleeping hormones. And after you end the session, you are tired all day long. So what we are doing with our system, you get a musical massage. You have 5 minutes music. It's the end result of 30 years of experience, of 30 years of working with patients and with over 2.2 million seminar attendees. And this physical auditory massage that you listen to for the first 5 minutes gives your body a physical impulse to relax.
If you have stress, anxiety, depression in your life, he's one of the most fascinating guests we've ever had. I had a chance to talk to him in Las Vegas a few months ago. We have a lot more coming up, but call the number on your screen if you want to get information on this book. Let's go to the phone lines. Hi, you're on A Closer Look with Kevin Trudeau and Dr. Caldwell. What's your first name?
My first name is Jerry.
Hi, Jerry. How are you?
Fine, thank you. And you?
We're doing terrific. Now, have you actually used Dr. Caldwell's techniques?
I have indeed, yes.
Tell me about your results.
Oh, the results were just incredible. I was at a time of my life where I had just lost all faith in myself. I was trying to do a very large thing and just had gone into a kind of a paralysis situation. So I somehow found Dr. Coldwell's system. I was in Charleston, and it was just incredible. I found much more relaxation, much more stress reduction, and the ability to get into action, which was really key for me at that time.
So when you were trying this, were you experiencing a lot of stress and anxiety in your life?
Huge stress and a lot of depression because I just didn't know where to go.
And how did that affect your sleep?
Very spotty.
Okay. And did you try other things to relax, reduce your stress, reduce your anxiety?
Oh, I did. I tried meditation. I tried some other books, some other counseling, etc. And nothing really touched the deepness and the core that Dr. Caldwell's work does.
When you listened to the CD for the first time and heard the music, did you have an instantaneous feeling? Did you notice something right away?
I did. I noticed a sense of real balance and calm and ease.
Well, thanks very much, Jerry, for calling in.
You're welcome.
Now, obviously the book talks about all the science or the research that you've experienced, your observations about how stress affects the physiology.
Most of all, it's a self-help book. It's a help to self-help. I don't believe that anybody can cure anybody. No medicine can cure anybody, no therapist can cure anybody, it's just a fact. The only thing that can cure you is your own body, your own self-healing system, your own regeneration system. And this book gives people the possibility to find out their root cause of their major stresses in life, the emotional and mental stress. This is the main cause of illness. It's the main cause of the drainage of energy. This book gives you the possibility to find out how great you are, what a special person you are, where your way will lead you, what your goals really are, not what you think your goals are, because it's very often it's completely different. And it gives you all the tools to be in complete control of your life without any kind of manipulation.
Let's talk about the stress reduction specifically, and I want you to explain this chart in just a moment. But there's a lot of talk about the pH in the body.
Right.
Alkaline, and acid. Dr. Mortar, who's a dear friend of mine, kind of is the father of the theory of if your body is alkaline, then you can't get disease.
Of course, he's right.
And then there's a lot of other doctors now on television selling green products, you know, capsules, nutritional supplements that have a lot of chlorophyll and green ingredients. Right. And if you take these supplements, allegedly it will help alkalize the body. And when your body's alkaline, you can't get disease. Cancer can be eradicated, heart disease, diabetes, fibromyalgia, arthritis, etc. You believe, like Dr. Mortar, that if you reduce stress, the body goes alkaline.
Yeah, automatically. It's very easy to prove because the stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol, if they are not used up because we are not fighting or running away, they poison our system. They stimulate a chain reaction of hormones. Our entire endocrine system gets stimulated and produces constantly elements we need to be able to fight or to run away. But we don't, so it's poisoning our system. It makes it acidic. In the whole meaning of the word, anger makes you acidic. If you have hatred, it makes you acidic. And you can learn to get rid of all these negative feelings that make you acidic to the right stress reduction system, and make sure you don't ever deal about or think about stress management. No, you don't want to manage your stress. You don't want to keep your stress, tell your body it's fine and live with it better. No, you're going to die a lot earlier than you're supposed to. The Cambridge University made a study that the normal human lifespan with high quality of life can be 160 years of age. Everything we die earlier, we basically destroy ourselves. We start with this huge potential. But we need to understand you can have the best car in the world. If you don't have gas in it, it will not run. We have the best mechanics, the best system in the world, the best body there is. And it cannot run without energy.
What are other people using right now to reduce stress? You know, I heard meditation, subliminal tapes, hypnosis tapes.
So first of all, hypnosis is a crime against humanity. Hypnosis makes people schizophrenic, it makes people delusional, it gets people out of their true personality. Let's say you go to a hypnotherapist and he tells you, you're a really nice and calm person, everybody loves you. You go there and you tell them, oh, I want to be a more stronger person, a more self-confident person. And he brainwashes you with manipulation from the outside. You are a strong person, you are a doer. And you change your personality. First of all, it creates a slip in your personality. You develop multiple personality disorders. And second of all, you lose all your friends because they like you the way you are, nice and the way your personality is. Hypnotism is pure brainwashing. It will never work on long term. It has major negative effects. And it is basically makes people addicted to the hypnotherapist or to the technique. Meditation, on the other hand, leads very often to passivity because you never go to a root cause. You reduce the stress for a moment. It doesn't help you. You need to reduce the stress on long term, not while you are sitting there.
So how does the music work on that CD that you developed to work with the brain to reduce or eliminate that stress?
You have to understand there's 5 minutes of music and then there's 15 minutes of narrative. The music stimulates the body, first of all, to get rid. It's like a shower. It's like you shower every day to get rid of the physical dirt, and now you shower to get rid of the stress dirt, in quotes, of your system. So you have 5 minutes of music that gives you a shower, that loosens you up. And it's scientifically created that it moves you between different waves in your brain, different brain states, so that you are always in control. You never lose control. You're always there. And on the other hand, then when we go into the narrative where I give you some ideas of what I like you to do, but I do it in a way that you are doing it. I just offer you possibilities and you go this way or you don't. You just change the symbols. And the music moves you, and that's very, very important, between beta waves, alpha waves, theta waves, so that you can really produce the dendrites necessary for long-term change. Our brain cells, our neurons, are connected with little lines. These are dendrites. Whenever you start a thinking or a learning process, you start building dendrites. That's why our brain gets heavier when we grow older. Of course, it cannot grow in size when we learn more, but it gets heavier because of all the dendrites that are built up in the brain. So what this system does, it enhances the capacity for your brain to build dendrites in the right direction. You build new microchips because you make clear decisions in the beta state, the full cognitive state, then you make pictures in the alpha state, but then you go to a theta state where you're between 3 and 6 hertz, where you have sink it in, and where it produces the dendrites so much faster than any other way. And then you immediately come up to the beta state again so that you're fully alert and in control. There's never any kind of manipulation. Nothing comes from the outside, it comes from the inside.
One of our most impressive guests, NMD, founder of Modern Therapy Center, founder of the Foundation for Crime and Drug-Free Schools and Health for Children, author of 8 best-selling books in Europe on health, treated over 35,000 cancer patients, and in Europe, one of the highest cancer cure rates ever using alternative treatments, and primarily his discovery on how to reduce stress. If you want more information on the book or his technology, call the number on your screen so you can get the book or the CDs. We'll give you free information on that. Let's go back to the phone lines. Hi, you're with Kevin Trudeau on A Closer Look and Dr. Caldwell. What's your first name?
Andy.
Andy, nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Tell me about your results or the experience you've had by using Dr. Caldwell's technique.
Well, Kevin, I work at a restaurant, and I'm a managing partner there. I've been there for about 8 years now, and needless to say, restaurant is a pretty stressful area. I was turned on to the Power Break stress reduction tapes through a customer who was coming in basically witnessing my deterioration, I'd say, especially after lunches. Lunches were really hostile. I'd kind of get out of lunch, and I'd go retire to my office and generally try and catch maybe a small nap before dinner would start. I started listening to the tapes based on the set that she had given me. I noticed improvements right away. I basically was far more alert, and most importantly, my train of thought was very focused. It wasn't necessarily that it was not that I was solving all my problems, but it was giving me the ability to think through my problems, and that was the most important thing for me. It kept me wide awake, from evening till on. So for me, it was a big improvement. My wait staff noticed it immediately.
When you listened to the tape for the first time, did you notice a greater sense of relaxation?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, at that point, I had been taking small naps, trying to kind of keep myself alert for the evening. And the difference between the nap and the actual session it's a night and day difference. I mean, a nap will give you the ability to carry on. The session was giving you the energy the same as a nap would, but it was the focus, the literal focus that I could maintain through the rest of the evening.
So you felt more centered?
Oh, absolutely. Very, very centered.
More relaxed and with more physical energy.
Absolutely. That was one of the most, I guess, immediate results. I've been on it for 9 months now, and I think the next best thing to it would be what my wife pointed out to me. She's pretty ritualistic about keeping up with the medicines in our medicine cabinet, and I'm pretty bad about getting sick through winters. For some reason, I fall ill every winter for whatever the case may be, whatever the common cold is for that flavor for that winter. But she noticed at the end of this winter I hadn't really touched anything, and I thought back, and I hadn't caught a cold, a flu, or anything. I hadn't had an ailment. I can't recall prior to that having one winter go by where I wasn't at least sick for 1 minute. So.
Well, great. Well, thanks very much for calling.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good point he just brought up. We just have a couple minutes left, but if a person reduces stress, actually, if a person has a lot of stress, their immune system is weaker and they're more susceptible to the...
Of course. That's the main problem. See, you will never see in a person that's completely enthusiastic, filled with vitality and energy, getting the flu or the cold. It just doesn't happen that way. You have to be run down from stress before you can catch the cold. You cannot get sick if you are full of energy. That's what... Every single illness is based on lack of energy. And mental and emotional stress is the main cause of lack of energy.
We just have a couple minutes left. So show me this real quick.
See, Kevin, what we have here is basically we have stress leads to drug and alcohol abuse. It leads to self-destructive behavior. This is all scientifically proven. It leads to toxemia, acidosis. We talked about the pH factor. It constricts muscles and organs. That means it leads to all kind of dysfunctions in the system. It leads to acidosis. We talked about it. It leads to bad relationships because if you are stressed, you cannot really have a great relationship. It leads, most of all, lack of oxygen. Lack of oxygen is the main cause of cancer. You know that cells don't get enough oxygen. That's scientifically proven, and it basically produces potentially harmful hormones, and it leads to nutritional deficiencies because it cuts off. If you're in a stressful situation, your entire digestive system is cut off. And it leads also to dehydration. And dehydration is the worst cause for any kind of physical disease. But it starts with stress. See, dehydration is not the cause. The cause is the stress. It leads to dehydration and nutritional deficiencies.
So you believe that stress is obviously the cause of, if not most illness.
Most illness. There's only accidents that are different, and but illness, in my opinion.
If a person has stress right now, again, they could get some hypnosis tapes, meditate. They could get a massage, take a warm bath, take drugs.
First of all, they're all patches. They all treat only the symptoms and only for a short amount of time. Medication has always side effects. There's no medication out there without a side effect. If you rather go a route supplementing one problem with another problem, that's everybody's decision. But I wouldn't take any kind of drug if I didn't really have to. And I don't really see a reason for people taking drugs in a lot of ways.